Welcome back to Nothing Major, the group you've all been waiting for, and the group covering professional sports. I'm your anchor, Jacob Hall, and I'm joined
By Leah Cutler.
and
Micah McIntosh.
we intend to provide you with strict information straight out of the Sports Business Journal today. So we're cutting the jokes, cutting the humor, and we're getting down to business. All right?
Thanks.
Another article we're going to be doing is that the WNBA stays out front in diversity of hiring. So there were studies done by the Institute for Diversity and Ethics in Sports from the University of Central Florida. So we'll be referring to it as TIDES from here on out, as it's known as. And the 2018 report card grade for racial and gender hiring practices, the WNBA received an A plus for both. That means that their score went up from a 93.7, which is just an A, to a 97.6, which is an A plus. And that was for the racial, and for the gender, it went from a 95.1 to a 99.9 in 2018. So that's the 14th straight year that the WNBA has been awarded an overall score of at least an A, and for its gender and racial practices. Then pretty much it goes on to say how the person running TIDES, Richard Lapchick, who's the primary author and the conductor of the study, he says how the progression of more diversity into the WNBA has allowed it and made it more successful, since the numbers show that the attendance and ratings are actually up this year. So he's saying that diversity is good business. So that's a good comparison by him. Also, the NBA itself, its counterpart, received grades of an A, actually, in racial hiring. And in gender hiring, though, it's down to a B, because there's not many women in powerful positions in the NBA currently. But it seems like the trend seems to be going up, since that B is way up from their grade, I think it said 5 years ago, which was like a C plus. So it went up. Overall, the WNBA has actually noticed a decline in people of color head coaching jobs, with just 3 of the 12 teams having coaches of color, which is tied for the lowest number since 2006. Still, the WNBA is the most diverse league in all of sports, with 52% of all teams' professional positions being held by women, which is up 13 percentage points from 2017, and 27% from all, it's like 27% above every other sport. So obviously you'd hope that the WNBA would, allow women and have women be in positions of power, and show that women can and will, be able to pull off these sport feats, as in winning championships. Minnesota Lynx.
The Rams and Chargers both stated this week that they've started selling stadium seat licenses for the new LA stadium that's set to open in 2020. Basically, what a seat license is a paid license that allows the holder to the freedom to buy season tickets for a particular seat in the stadium. And then for the Rams, the all-access seats will require a seat license fee of $100,000, while that number will just be $75,000 for the Chargers. Some of the perks of sitting in the most expensive all-access seats are food and beverage at each game, access to 2 different clubs in the stadium, plus the guaranteed right to buy tickets to nearly every stadium event, including the Super Bowl. One unique thing about the seat licenses for both the Rams and the Chargers is that everyone is expected to be getting their money back eventually. So the only drawback here is that they'll have to wait 50 years in order to get a refund check. So the seat license is basically just a deposit that'll go toward the construction of the stadium. So after those 50 years, those teams will refund the deposit to the licensees, or the people who buy the licenses for the seats. So if you buy a VIP seat license this year, the Rams will finally cut you a check for $100,000 to refund your deposit in 2068.
Agent Hendrickson helping Wasserman, an agency, become a force in the NFL. So veteran NFL agent Doug Hendrickson joined Wasserman after, he was previously at Octagon for 14 years, then left Octagon and joined Independent Sports and Entertainment for 4 years, and now he's at Wasserman. And Wasserman, when they were asked about the hiring, actually said it was more about a talent-driven decision than about building in a particular sport, but they just kind of got the best of both worlds since now they're a force in the NFL. The main reason they're a force in the NFL is because he has managed since March, which is not a long span of time, to negotiate 11 new clients with over $150 million in contracts just since March. So some of the notable signees for this company are the Cowboys linebacker Jalen Smith, Raiders running back Jalen Richard, and 2 players who are expected to be unrestricted free agents, aka needing new contracts or getting more money. So, and those are Raiders defensive tackle Jonathan Hankins and Cowboys linebacker Justin March Lillard. So for non-NFL fans, you may not know a few of these names, but these are guys who, are consistent players, and they're players that are expected to be re-signed and or get new deals with new teams for a lot of money. Just a quick list off of some more names. Bryce Butler, Cowboys receiver, Curtis Riley, Giants cornerback, J.D. McKissick, who's a Seahawks running back, Kenny Ladler, Rashad Higgins, Mike Thomas, but from the Rams, not from the Saints, Marcel Aitman, and Marcel Aitman, who is the Raiders wide receiver. Hendrickson, C.J. LeBoy, and upcoming agent Mike Swenson are all going to be representing the players as like kind of a trio for Wasserman. So the big thing, those were all the contracts that they all signed, but the big one really he got, then the big 4 now are Eric Kendricks from the Vikings, who signed a 5-year, $50 million extension as part of Wasserman and having Hendrickson as his agent. They also they have Marcus Peters, who's a Rams cornerback, and Shaq Thompson, a Panthers linebacker, who are both up for extensions at the end of the year, so should be more money for the company. Overall, Wasserman's very happy about the signing, and they even talk about how Hendrickson has connections with Colts quarterback Andrew Luck and Raiders running back Marshawn Lynch, who he's previously represented, that they hope to sign to their agency too, which would be really big for their agency and really big for Wasserman as a whole, which is an agency in the NFL, and the NFL is a pro sport.
In Dana White's office at UFC's Las Vegas headquarters, CEO Dana White spread out a blueprint of a 90,000 square foot, $12 million campus expansion that will add a state-of-the-art television production facility, the centerpiece of which will be a 500 to 1,500 seat mini arena that will host fights. This is where the UFC will stage bouts for its Ultimate Fighter and Tuesday Night Contender series, which will reside on ESPN+. And what ESPN Plus is another broadcast branch to ESPN, where you pay $5 extra a month for like your ESPN subscription, and you can start off with a 7-day free trial, so you can check it out if you want to. But it's also where Dana White hopes to put on a slew of events from across combat sports, boxing, kickboxing, and more. Through 17 years heading the UFC, White has pushed hard to widen the sports TV reach, going from pay-per-view to cable to Fox and now to ESPN. The UFC's 5-year, $1.5 billion deal with ESPN puts 20 of its fight night shows, its developmental series, and its library on ESPN+, a play designed to make it a must-have for eager fans. Another benefit that UFC gets from both ESPN+ and its own Fight Pass offering is the unrivaled window both provide into the audience. You come before the game tomorrow, you see me dunk. Shout out Derek Ellis. Is this recording?
Yeah.
Shout out Derek Ellis. He got the most bounce in the school. 50-inch vert.
Regular player of the year.
Oh, yeah, player of the year.
So we hope you enjoyed all of those very interesting and crazy topics and stories from the Sports Business Journal, because here at Nothing Major, we flipped the script and we are strictly business. So that's all for now from Nothing Major. we've enjoyed, not really, making these videos for you. I'm signing off for the last time.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving break.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving break. I'm Jacob Hall.
I'm Leah Cutler.
And I'm Michael McIntosh.
Good night, America.